Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about my first impressions of the PlayStation VR and in VR in general. And as you guys probably know, I'm a big skeptic when it comes to VR. I see it as a gimmick before I tried this thing on. And, I saw things like the screen door effect, motion sickness. I saw gimmicks like 3D, like motion controls in VR back in the 90s with Nintendo, So I look at VR and I'm like, what do you really have to offer? So today I'm going to talk about my first-hand experience with the PlayStation VR. And before I even get into that, there are some things I want to get out of the way with it. There was a lot of rumors and speculations with the PlayStation VR that you wouldn't be able to plug your headsets in, the Gold headsets, the things that use the dongle for the PlayStation 4, any wireless headset that uses a dongle, because the VR headset uses most of the USB ports on the PlayStation 4, but not all of them. So you can use this wirelessly, no problem, and you can also plug it into the PlayStation VR as well to have a wired experience with it. So then they put the headset on me, and first off, really insanely comfortable. They put these over my ears, and I played the Descent demo. And it's an experience, so no controller, no move stick, nothing whatsoever. Just you and the headset, and you're in a shark tank descending deeper into the ocean floor. You're looking at all the reefs, the fish, the turtles, all the sea life, stingrays swimming above you, below you, beside you, jellyfish. Beautiful. Beautiful. It actually felt like I was descending deeper below the sea, and then a shark comes. And immediately, because I love Back to the Future, so I'm going to throw this in here, I felt like Marty from Back to the Future 2 with the Jaws 3D, sign coming right at him. I felt impending doom from the shark. His teeth, his jaw, like, detached from its body and bit the tank, and I was just like, oh God, it felt like it was coming after me. I had to tell myself that this was just a game, and that, when I took the headset off, holy shit, I felt relief. I was really winding up a punch to punch this fucking shark in the face, and yeah, I felt doom. And once I took the goggles off, there was no disorientation, there was nothing. I felt normal. I was like, okay, this is real life. I can still take myself out of the game and, tell myself it's a game. I could still be in reality. So that was checked off the box of, troubles I might have with VR. The next thing we got to play was the heist, and that is where you're driving along the highway. There's cars coming at you, shooting at you, motorcycle guys shooting at you, and I guess you robbed the wrong people and they want their money back. And that was a really fun experience because it kind of felt like Time Crisis to me. It felt like I was in an arcade again, and that's something I want to talk about later on in the video. I was using the Move controllers for this one, and it actually felt like I actually had to bend down and get stuff, actually bend down and pick up magazines, pick up my weapon, and actually reload them with the controllers. That was something really awesome. I got to play with the radio. I got to grab soda and pretend to drink it and throw it at a guy, and then I pretended to jerk him off because I'm mentally 12. The rep didn't like that I did that. But anyway, I got a laugh, my brother got a laugh. Everybody had a laugh. And then the shooting mechanic, it felt like I was shooting a gun, like how you would shoot. It wasn't like a wand experience where you're like that. It's actually like you're shooting a gun. And I was like, well, this is actually a lot of fun. I'm feeling like I'm in an arcade. And that's actually one of the demos I had maybe the most fun with was the heist. And then the next game I got to play, and it's my last game, was Eve Valkyrie, which was a game I was really actually excited for. It was a game that I would purchase on day one, and it's a space shooter, meaning I'm flying a spacecraft and I'm getting to shoot people, and it was a lot of fun. It was a learning curve because I hated the controls. The inverted controls suck, but I know when the game comes out, I'll be able to switch that. If not, that would be horrible. I hate inverted controls, but nonetheless, that was a lot of fun. I feel like that game could be played in and out of VR, just because it wasn't really that intensive when it came to the VR. It was just made me look like I was in a cockpit. Was I a little disappointed? Not really, because this is going to be a multiplayer game. The AI that was on screen was really dumb. So I know that when this game comes around, sentence structure, then I know that it'll be fun because I'm going to be playing with people and not stupid AI. Now, I didn't just test VR and run, right? I stayed there for an hour because I wanted to see what other people's thoughts were on it. I actually came every single day to see what people thought about PlayStation VR. And for the most part, a lot of people were really excited about it. I actually didn't hear many negative reviews about the PlayStation VR. Everybody was excited for this thing after coming out of it. Even more bigger skeptics than me came out pleasantly surprised by how immersed they were in that world. You know, I saw this one big tough guy. He walks in, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try this, all right, whatever. Puts on the headset. Immediately, first time he sees the shark, he's like, man, I'm out of here. I ain't scared, but I'm just out of here. I know better. And I'm like, that guy's amazing. And then I had like this dad, he was awesome, and he was getting really into it. He's getting really freaked out that the shark was coming over him, and he almost like jumped out of the chair, and he's just like, he comes out of it, he's like, man, horror games are just gonna be amazing. And I'm like, I can't wait till they make an Alien game for the VR. And that's what a lot of people were like coming out with, was just like what they think is going to come out for the VR that would be so insane, so incredible. This one person who didn't even own a console just went buying a PlayStation 4 and then immediately walked over and signed his name on the wait list because he wants to pre-order a VR and a PlayStation 4 on day one. So that tells you a lot of people, from what I experienced, are excited. People with glasses, they were like, I didn't even... It was just like I was wearing nothing. It was amazing. My brother even thought it was the same. You know, it was extremely comfortable for those who wear glasses. So what's my verdict on VR? What are my first impressions of it? Am I still as skeptical? Not at all. Am I all aboard the VR hype train? Honk honk, this is the future of, video games? No, I feel like VR is more of a platform. A different platform, just like handheld, mobile, console, PC markets. I feel like this has a market all to itself, that it belongs in the gaming industry, and it'll change the gaming industry, just not in the way that a lot of people are thinking it will. Though I do think this is a great starting point, I also feel like this is going to be the rebirth of all those arcade games that we knew and grew up with and loved. When I'm playing the heist, I'm thinking of Time Crisis, I'm thinking of House of the Dead. When I'm playing Eve Valkyrie, I'm thinking of like those Mech Assault games we'd play, or even the Star Wars X-Wing game we would play as kids. I see those games coming back with the coming of VR, and that's what I'm really excited about VR. And I see horror games having a home with VR that it's never really truly had. It had with Resident Evil, it had it with Dead Space, but I feel like this is the next step of horror. So with all that out of the way, I like it. I'm going to be purchasing day one, and hopefully with some more goodies as well. With that all out of the way, though, you guys have been so good. With that, you should like, share, subscribe. It helps us out here at Polygame. Shows us that you care. And everybody, have a great day. Oh, and also, let me know what you feel about VR down below. My right there. Goodbye.